Are you serious, Carter? The Drakari? Those barbarians will never ally with us, spat Counselor Vex, his glare icy. Alex Carter stood resolute in the center of the Galactic Council chamber. The vast room, adorned with holographic star maps and insignias of countless civilizations, seemed to shrink under the weight of the Council's scorn. He took a deep breath, focusing on the mission rather than the disdain surrounding him. Counselors, Alex began, his voice steady despite the tension. The Xarvian threat is real. They have already decimated 2 colonies. Without the Drakari's strength, we don't stand a chance. Laughter erupted from several council members. And you think the Drakari will simply join us because you ask nicely? Sneered Counselor Drell, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Alex's jaw tightened, but he remained calm. No, Counselor Drell. I believe they will join us because our survival depends on it. They respect strength and strategy. If we prove ourselves, they will fight alongside us. Counselor Vex leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. And how do you propose to gain their respect? By challenging them to a duel. Before Alex could respond, a soft voice cut through the din. Perhaps it's worth considering, said Ilara, the secretive council member who rarely spoke but commanded attention when she did. Her support was unexpected but crucial. Ilara is right, Alex continued, seizing the opportunity. The Drakari value courage. I'm willing to lead a team to their homeworld and prove our worth through their trials. The room fell silent, skepticism still palpable, but curiosity piqued. Counselor Vex scoffed but did not argue further. The council adjourned, leaving Alex to prepare for the journey ahead. Later that evening, in a secluded corner of the council complex, Alex met with Ilara. Her expression was unreadable, but her eyes held a glint of intrigue. You're taking a significant risk, Alex, she said, her tone measured. I don't see another option, Alex replied. The Xarvians won't wait for us to get our act together. If we don't secure the Drakari's help, we're doomed. Ilara nodded, handing him a data chip. This contains everything we know about the Drakari customs and their leader, Varrock. You'll need it. And Alex, she added, her voice softening, be careful. The Drakari are not easily impressed. Alex spent the next few days studying the data, assembling a small team of the most capable and diverse individuals he could find. Together, they boarded a sleek, unmarked ship and set course for the Drakari homeworld, a planet known for its harsh landscapes and fierce inhabitants. As their ship descended through the atmosphere, the team was greeted by an imposing sight: towering mountains, vast deserts, and dense, impenetrable forests. The Drakari capital, a sprawling city of stone and metal, lay ahead, its architecture both brutal and beautiful. Upon landing, they were immediately surrounded by heavily armed Drakari warriors. Varrock, the Drakari leader, stepped forward. His presence was intimidating, with battle scars etched across his skin and eyes that spoke of countless victories. Why have you come to our world? Varrock demanded, his voice a deep growl. Alex stepped forward, meeting Varrock's gaze without flinching. We seek an alliance, he declared. We know you value strength and honor. Let us prove ourselves through your trials. Varrock studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Very well, human. You will face our tests, but be warned, many have tried, and most have failed. Alex nodded, determination burning in his eyes. We will succeed, he said, more to himself than anyone else. The fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and failure was not an option. Alex Carter and his team stepped off their shuttle onto the rugged terrain of the Drakari homeworld. The air was thick with tension and the scent of unfamiliar flora. Towering Drakari warriors surrounded them, their eyes narrowed with suspicion. State your purpose, human. Varrock, the Drakari war chief, commanded. His voice was like gravel, and his imposing figure cast a long shadow. We seek an alliance, Alex replied firmly. Together, we can defeat the Xarvian threat. Veroc's laughter was harsh. You think a fragile alliance with weaklings will change anything? Alex straightened. Give us a chance to prove our worth. Veroc's eyes gleamed with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Very well, you will undergo our trials, survive, and we will consider your proposal. The first test began at dawn. Alex and his team were led to a dense forest where they had to navigate through treacherous terrain and evade predatory creatures. The Dracari watched closely, ready to judge their every move. Stay alert, Alex whispered to his team. We need to show them what we're capable of. Hours passed in a blur of exertion and danger. The team moved with precision, using their technological gadgets to outmaneuver the threats. Yet it was their coordination and resolve that impressed the Dracari the most. At the end of the day, Veroc met them with a nod of approval. You have survived the forest, but the true challenge lies ahead. The next test took place in the Dracari combat arena. It was a brutal test of strength and strategy, pitting the humans against Dracari warriors in combat drills. Veroc watched as Alex led his team with tactical brilliance, compensating for their physical disadvantage with clever maneuvers and unyielding spirit. During a particularly grueling drill, Alex faced off against a towering Dracari named Korek. The fight was fierce, each blow resonating with the clash of cultures and wills. Alex ducked under Korek's swing, using his smaller size to his advantage. Impressive, Veroc murmured, watching the human's deft moves. Alex's team mirrored his resilience, and by the end of the day, they had earned the respect of many Dracari. Veroc approached Alex, a new light in his eyes. You fight well, human. But respect must be earned, not just in combat, but in heart. The final test was a trial of endurance and unity. Alex and his team were taken to the peak of trials, a harsh mountain where they had to survive the elements with minimal supplies. The Dracari believed that true strength lay not just in physical prowess, but in the will to endure. As the days wore on, Alex's leadership shone. He kept his team motivated, his strategic mind always finding ways to stretch their resources. They bonded over shared hardships, their spirits intertwined by the relentless challenge. One night, as they huddled around a fire, Veroc approached. You have faced our trials with honor, Alex Carter. Your people have shown resilience and heart. Alex met Veroc's gaze. We stand ready to fight alongside you, to protect our galaxy together. Veroc extended his hand, a gesture of respect and alliance. Then let us prepare for war, human. Together, we will show the Galactic Council and the Xarvians the true meaning of strength. The bond forged in the trials was unbreakable. The humans and Dracari, once worlds apart, now stood united, ready to face the impending galactic threat with newfound respect and determination. As dawn broke over the Dracari homeworld, the humans and Dracari warriors prepared for the final test. Alex Carter stood beside Veroc, surveying the training ground where the simulation would take place. This is it, Carter. The last hurdle, Veroc said, his voice a mix of challenge and respect. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. We're ready. We have to be. The test was designed to simulate a full-scale Xarvian invasion. Dracari warriors and human strategists would have to work together, their lives depending on each other's skills. The air buzzed with tension as both groups awaited the signal to begin. Stay sharp, Alex reminded his team. Trust in your training and in each other. The signal flared, and chaos erupted. Simulated Xarvian forces surged forward, their holographic forms blending eerily with the real environment. Alex barked orders, directing his team to strategic positions while Veroc led the Dracari in fierce, close combat engagements. The first wave hit hard, testing their resolve. Alex watched as his team adapted, using the Dracari's brute strength to their advantage. He spotted a breach forming in their defenses and sprinted to reinforce it, firing his weapon with precision. Cover me, Alex shouted, his voice barely audible over the din of battle. The Drakari warrior, bloody but unyielding, moved to protect Alex's flank. "We fight together, human," he growled, his tone filled with newfound respect. Just as the simulated enemy seemed endless, a real threat emerged. The ground trembled as actual Sarvian soldiers breached the simulation. Panic rippled through the ranks, but Alex and Varrock quickly took control. "This isn't part of the test," Alex yelled to Varrock, his eyes wide with shock. "No, but it's a test nonetheless," Varrock replied grimly. "Prove your worth now." With renewed urgency, Alex coordinated a defense. His commands were sharp, his strategy clear. He moved through the battlefield with determination, ensuring no position was left vulnerable. "Focus fire on the heavy units," Alex directed, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Varrock, we need your warriors on the front line." Varrock nodded and rallied his warriors, their war cries echoing as they charged. The combined force of human precision and Drakari might began to turn the tide. Alex found himself fighting alongside Varrock, their movements synchronizing in a dance of survival and strategy. The battle raged on, but gradually the unified front began to push back the Sarvians. Each victory, each fallen enemy, strengthened the bond between the humans and Drakari. The tide was turning, and it was clear they would not break. As the last Sarvian soldier fell, silence descended. The battlefield was littered with signs of struggle, but the alliance had held strong. Alex and Varrock stood amidst the aftermath, their respect for each other evident in their tired but triumphant expressions. "You've proven yourself, human," Varrock said, clapping Alex on the shoulder. "You and your people have earned our respect and our alliance." Alex smiled, the weight of the battle lifting. "Together, we're stronger. We've shown the galaxy what we can achieve." The warriors around them cheered, a sound of unity and victory. The test had been more than they'd anticipated, but they had risen to the challenge. As they began to regroup and tend to the wounded, the significance of their success became clear. This alliance was no longer a mere strategy. It was a beacon of hope against the darkness threatening their galaxy. Alex and Varrock strode into the Galactic Council chamber, determination and exhaustion etched on their faces. The chamber, usually filled with contemptuous whispers, fell silent as the unlikely allies took their places. Counselor Vex sneered, "Back so soon, Carter? I see you've brought a pet." Varrock's eyes narrowed, but Alex placed a calming hand on his arm. "We're here to report a successful alliance and the repulsion of a Sarvian attack." A murmur of surprise rippled through the council. Illyra stepped forward, her face a mask of concern. "Is this true, Carter? The Sarvians attacked during your trial?" Alex nodded. "Yes, and we fought them off together. The Drakari are our allies now." Varrock stepped forward, his voice resonating through the chamber. "Humans have proven their worth. They fought with honor and strength. We stand with them." Counselor Vex scoffed. "Convenient story. Where's your proof?" Illyra interjected. "I have confirmation from my sources. The attack happened, and the alliance was pivotal in their victory." Vex's face twisted in disbelief, but before he could retort, a holographic display activated, showing footage of the battle. The council watched in silence as humans and Drakari fought side by side, their combined efforts turning the tide against the Sarvians. The room erupted into debate, but Illyra's voice cut through the noise. "Enough. We must focus on the real threat. The Sarvians are not a distant danger. They're here, and we need this alliance." Vex, refusing to concede, muttered, "There's more at play here." Sense deceit. Alex knew this was his moment. "Counselors, the Sarvian threat is real and immediate. We can't afford division. Together, we have a chance. Heart, we fall." Varrock added, "The Drakari have always respected strength and unity. The humans have shown both. It's time the council does the same." As the council debated, Illyra slipped Alex a data chip. "Evidence," she whispered. It will expose those undermining our efforts. Later, in a secured room, Alex accessed the chip's contents. It contained damning evidence of Vex's secret communications with the Xarvians, hinting at a betrayal of the Council's trust. Back in the chamber, Alex presented the evidence. "Counselors, we've been betrayed from within. Vex has been conspiring with the Xarvians." Gasps filled the room. Vex stood, his face pale, stammering denials. But the evidence was irrefutable. Guards moved to detain him, and the chamber buzzed with outrage and realization. Ilara took the floor, her voice firm. "We must act swiftly. With Vex's treachery exposed, we can no longer deny the necessity of this alliance." The vote was called, and the Council, now unified in their understanding of the threat, voted overwhelmingly in favor of the Human-Dracari alliance. Relief and determination filled the chamber as the final tally was announced. Alex turned to Varrock, a rare smile breaking his usually stern demeanor. "We did it." Varrock nodded, a gleam of respect in his eyes. Together. As they left the chamber, a broadcast was made to the galaxy, declaring the new alliance and their united stand against the Xarvian threat. Across worlds, the message was clear. Humanity and the Dracari were ready to fight, together. The sense of unity and purpose was palpable. For the first time, Alex felt the weight of doubt lift from his shoulders. They were ready for whatever came next. And with Varrock by his side, he knew they would prevail.